Hi, I'm Roma. I'm a sales systems coach, and today I'm going to be talking about how six figures in business needs to be the norm for all entrepreneurs. So, a little bit about me. I have been coaching over 200 women in the past couple of years, and I just went to a conference. It's the first couple conferences I've been to in a long time since COVID happened, and I went to three. I went to New Jersey, I went to Maryland, and then I went to New York City. So they're all pretty high cost of living areas. And what I noticed is I met so many women. I was actually a speaker for all those conferences talking about sales and systems. And I met so many women that have been in business for 5 years, 6 years, and they've never made more than $100,000. They've never even made $100,000. They're still at like the 20K, the 30K, the 40K mark in business, and they're 5 years in. And this huge realization dawned on me that I needed to make this video for all of you, especially today after the election results came out in the United States, is that there's so much that we cannot control, right? But there's one thing that you can always control in your business, and that is sales. Doesn't matter if like sales is a recession-proof skill. Automating your business is a recession-proof skill, right? And one thing that I wanted to say is having 100,000. I know you see so many videos on the internet where people are bashing other creators that's for saying $100,000 is not enough to live on. And that is a completely separate conversation as a 9-to-5er. But as a business owner, as a full-time business owner, six figures is truly the minimum for what you need to live and survive, especially if you're in the Northeast like me, where it's a high cost of living area. Rent here usually goes for like about $2,000 a month, right? If you're not paying a mortgage and the taxes aren't increasing. And that's why I say, like, if you're not making six figures, you're basically in small business poverty, right? I think being an entrepreneur is so glorified sometimes because you're hustling, you're making your own money, but you need to understand, like the reason I'm making this video is I want you to start accepting that 100K is your standard in business, in life, like especially if you're a full-time entrepreneur. Even if you're a part-time entrepreneur, you need to make sure that your business is on track for 100K. I'm having a free workshop, the link will be in my bio, about normalizing 100K and what I've taught my clients to do. I teach this 5-part method. So we talk about sales, leads, hiring, automation, and launching. Those are the 5 things that you need to make $100,000 in your business. And I recommend you invite all of your friends, because there's no point in being the only rich person in your friend group. You want to lift up everyone with you. So the workshop is free. You can invite your friends. And when you do, you get access to our free paid funnels course. It's free for you guys when you invite someone, because I really, after basically touring the Northeast on a mini speaking tour, I realized that this needs to change. Like, so many women, especially women of color, are accepting that small business poverty. They're making $30,000, and I think it's glorified all over the internet that making $30,000 in your business is huge. It's a big deal. And yes, that's something to celebrate, but it's not something to live off of, right? Living off of $30,000 is very, very hard. Living off of $40,000 is very hard, especially when you take self-employment, taxes into consideration, state taxes, federal taxes. And as a business owner, you have to pay team members that you never had to in a 9-to-5. You have to pay for software that you could, get away with for a free trial in your 9-to-5. There's just certain expenses that you just can't run away from as a business owner. And that is why it is so much more expensive. And 100K as a business owner is not the same as 100K as a 9-to-5er. 100K has to be the minimum, the minimum of what you make. And if you're struggling, and if you've been in business for more than for 2 years at most, and still haven't gotten to that 100K mark, I am pouring my heart and soul into this training. I invite you. I'll probably upload it on YouTube in a couple of months. But if you want to be there, be coached live, and really take control of your finances, your sales, your business, I invite all of you guys to come join me. We have the most women registered that we've ever registered in the past 3 days. But normalize 100K, accept 100K. And just a little bit of my backstory is when I started my 9-to-5, I always had the dream of being a millionaire, right? I knew that I wanted to be a millionaire as fast as possible, because that was always my goal for my family, for myself. And looking at my salary, I was like, making less than 100K is not going to get me there. Now, as a full-time business owner, I definitely know that if you make anything less than 100K in your business, it's even harder to get to the $1 million status, right? I believe all women should be millionaires. All of us should be extremely wealthy. And even at my 9-to-5, it was non-negotiable. I told all my friends, I told my partner at the time, I was like, I need to make 100K in 2 years. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I started that job and I was like, I will fight for the promotion. I will do whatever I need to. And that's how I started the business. And the business in the first year created 150K in the first year, right? And ever since that first year, it's always done over 6 figures. It's always been 6 figures or more, right? We haven't gotten to the 7 figure mark yet. Stay tuned. But we've always crossed that 100K mark in our business. Even when I was working my 9 to 5, even when I left my 9 to 5, I was always making 100K because that was my minimum. I knew that if I wouldn't be able to hit my life goals if I didn't hit that, kept that minimum. So this was my rant. Come to the workshop. I'm really excited to see you all. It's happening on November 20th. The link is in the description. And this is just your sign if you've kind of been waiting, you know in your heart that you need to make more money. This is your sign to not listen to people on the internet. I know I'm a person on the internet, but if this resonates, like, you do not need to wait. You don't need anyone to give you permission to want to make more money. You deserve $100,000 in your business, and the training will help you out. It's completely free. And feel free to invite your friends, and you'll get all these bonuses when you invite more people. I'm so super excited to see you on November 20th.